Hi friends, welcome back to my studio. I am so glad you're here with me today, and we've got a fun-packed video for you today. I have some Happy Mail to share. I have some things that I bought this week when I was at a quilt store, wanted to share with you. I have some projects that I've been working on, and I also have some customer quilts finished, and a few that have gone home. That I can show by way of picture, and then I have one here that goes home this afternoon that I can show you as well. I want to show you the long arm work that I've done on those quilts, and so glad that you are here with me today. So I hope you're enjoying your Christmas season. We've got our Christmas decorations all up, the tree is done. Now we just need to do our shopping. I have a few things done, but not a whole lot. I hope your Christmas season is going really well for you. By way of introduction, let me say my name is Tammy Ernest, and I am a long arm quilter. I have been a quilter probably about 18, 19 years now, and I've had my own long arming business for the past 12 years. Started out on a 10-foot frame and just doing hand-guided work, and a couple years ago I sold that machine and bought a 12-foot frame, a machine that is digitized, so I do all of my patterns edge to edge and computer generated. There are so many more options with that than I could do with the hand-guided, and I am just loving everything that I'm doing. So I'm so happy to have this channel here now that I can share those finishes with you so that you can see up close and personal the quilts that I finished for clients as well as the projects I'm working on for myself. So I'm so glad you're here with me today. Let's start off today with some mail that I received. I received a Christmas card from one of my clients, and this is just so pretty I had to share it. So here is the card itself, and a homemade card, just beautiful. Look at the glittery there, and then inside, whoops, it about fell out there. Very nice. This is from Judy, and I want to show you this handmade ornament that she made. She told me this is all thread. Now I know Judy has an embroidery machine, so I'm assuming she was able to do that on there. That is just incredible. The detail on that. Try to get it. So pretty. All thread. It's I don't know if it's been starched maybe to make it stiff, or maybe that's just because there's so much thread there. But I am so thrilled with this, Judy. Thank you so much. And I can't wait to hang this on the tree. I didn't want to do it until I shared it with you guys. So thank you, Judy. That was so nice of you. I loved that. And also this weekend I was at one of my local quilt stores. Every quilt store, I live out in the country, and so every quilt store is about an hour away. There's one that just opened up a couple months ago that's maybe 40 minutes away, but most quilt stores are an hour away. So when I say my local quilt store, that's one of 4 or 5 that I frequent quite often, and that are that far away from me. But this, I was down in Spencer, Indiana, an Unraveled quilt store down there, and Lisa is so nice. She has given my name out to some clients of hers that she's unable to take care of for the Christmas season, so I've been in there a few more times here recently. But while I'm in a quilt store picking up projects for long arming, I always like to help out the store owner too, because I want to keep them in business. So when I'm there, I like to purchase something while I'm in the store. And I like to meet clients at a quilt store just because then that gives them exposure to other projects, other materials, and hopefully they can support their local quilt store as well. So I wanted to show you a few things that I picked up while I was there. Lisa was having a sale when I was down there, and she had some, Christmas fabrics for 30% off, but then she had some other fabrics that were 40 and 50% off. And I found this cute sheep print. And I have the perfect project that I'm going to use this for. I got 4 yards because I want to use this as the backing. I picked up, several months ago, I picked up the pattern by Coriander. Have you seen it, where it's the like 12 different sheep, and they're like this big? 12 different sheep, and I just love it. I absolutely love the pattern. I was trying to find it before I got on camera here today and I couldn't find it, but I know it's up there somewhere, up in my sewing room. I film my videos downstairs. My sewing room studio is actually upstairs, but it's so tight in there with the long arm and my other sewing projects that I need a little more open room. So that's when I said when my patterns and things are upstairs, and I could not find this pattern to share with you when I shared this fabric, which disappointed me, but I'm sure you can understand. I'm sure you may have the same problem, I don't know. But I picked up this, and this is going to be the backing for that quilt, and I'm so excited. This is just so cute. And living on farm ground here, I love anything farmyard. And there's another thing I picked up. This is a panel, and I had it packaged in this cute little, when I was in school, as a paper football shape. But this is a panel. This is by Zen, I may not say it right, Zen Chic, I don't know. This is called Chill. Moda puts this out, and this is a panel, kind of a heavier canvasy type thing. And what I like about this, I think I'm going to make these into some pillows for our couch. And I thought this would be not just now, and maybe January. Maybe I won't even do them for Christmas. But the Stay Cozy, and then this one says we are like a snowflake, all different in our own beautiful way. Isn't that cute? And then on the other side, this is folded, so it's not, you know, one side and the other, but I just didn't want to open it all the way up. This one, this is our happy place, and then winter down there at the bottom, and then another one. This one I think would make a cute, this one says snowflakes are kisses from heaven. And I thought this one would make a cute runner. We have a footstool in our living room that's actually made out of old barn, some like old barn. I don't know if it was something the cows would eat out of. I don't know, but that's what our footstool is made out of, and I got cushions on it. And then this would really be really cute as a runner there. And then on the other side, this one says, if kisses were snowflakes, I'd send you a blizzard. I thought this one would make a cute pillow, even a cute bed pillow. So I picked up that when I was down at a local quilt store, and just really cute. It's always fun to go in a quilt store. One of my favorite things to do. I also picked up a couple new patterns from over Black Friday. And this is, I did some digital patterns from Fat Quarter Shop. I picked up two that I would like to do, and I only printed these out in black and white, so they may not be the nicest to look at. But this one, I actually showed this quilt. This is a client had done this quilt a couple weeks ago when I showed this, and I loved this pattern. And I love the fabrics that it was done in. And I think it was also the Zen Chic. I don't know how to say it. But this pattern is called Kira, and it's by GE Designs. And I may put in a picture real quick of the quilt that I quilted a couple weeks ago that was by using this pattern. That pattern, and I also picked up a Coriander pattern. I have been looking at this quilt. I printed this out in black and white, but obviously the color one would be so much nicer. This is a Coriander pattern, Roadside Harvest. I have been looking at this pattern. Actually, she puts this out as a kit as well, and if I can still find the kit, I may just buy the kit. I love the gingham. I love the pumpkins. I love the trucks. I just love this pattern. So, a couple Black Friday deals that I picked up on Fat Quarter Shop because I want to make those quilts at some point. I want to make those quilts. So fun. So that's my haul for this week. Want to show you some of the projects I've been working on. I've told you about the wedding quilt that I've been working on, and I have it all quilted. I'm just working on the binding part. This, if you remember, I started out as a free pattern from Primitive Gatherings, and then I tweaked the pattern some because I didn't, not that the pattern was wrong, I didn't like the fabrics that I had to in the design that was in the called for pattern. So I kind of switched it up. Let me show you this here. All right, so the original pattern had these blocks and then a setting square in between each one, and I decided just to put the blocks together. Drape it over my chair there. I liked this a lot better, so so there's the quilt itself. I'm still working on the binding. Now let me show you the quilting that I did on this. This pantograph is called Sprawl, and the first time I've done this one, it's similar to some others I've done, but I really liked this design on this quilt. You can see that with the light shining on it there. So with the, so much of the horizontal and block type, I liked the diagonal shape of this one to be, to complement that. Yeah, called Sprawl. I really like that. And again, I'm working on the binding. Never quite get it done before. So I've got my binding clips on there, just holding it together. And here's the back. The back matches the front. There you can see the design a little bit. So kind of directional. I mean, if you did it this way, it looks like the things are pointing down, and the other way, they're up. Really nice. I like that one. So that will be, finish the binding this week and get that to the couple. They're home from their honeymoon. I don't know if they've opened presents. I'm assuming they've opened presents, but it's always fun to continue getting them after you've gotten married, right? To get them for a few more weeks afterwards. That's always fun. So that wedding quilt. And then this past weekend, I had to take a break from quilting because my daughter was needing aprons made. She was hosting a cookie bake with teen girls from her church, and she wanted to know if I could make some aprons for her. So obviously I was thrilled to help her out with that. We just purchased some fabric from Joann Fabrics, actually, and 2 different kinds, and I'll show you the aprons here. So I was just going to do a front and a back with the ties, and then I decided it needed a little bit more, so I added the little pocket on. I tried to make each one a tad bit different, just so that each girl would know what her apron was and not get them confused. But I think they turned out really nice. My daughter seemed to be thrilled. I think that cookie bake is this Friday, so that will be fun for her. But that took my entire weekend. Actually, the longest part of that was turning those ties inside out. I just don't have a good system for doing that. I've tried everything. I've tried all the tools that are out there, and it's just a tedious process, so that those seams are on the inside. So because there was 4 for every one, I actually made them the ties on the top and the ties on the side so that they could tie in themselves, so that each girl could adjust it and not just have the loop around your neck. But so that meant 4 ties for every apron, and that just took a while. I actually incorporated, my husband helped me some. Not his favorite thing to do, but I appreciated his help with that. And my daughter and son-in-law, when they were over, they helped me do that as well, so got that project done. But that took most of my weekend, so that's all the quilting, personal quilting. That's probably why I didn't get the binding done on that quilt. I do have, before I go into that, I do have customer quilts to show you today, but I just thought it would be fun to share some 10 things about me that you may not know. This is new channel, we're just getting to know each other, and I love the comments that you're leaving, and I'd like to get to know you better, but for you to get to know me better, I thought I would share 10 things that you may not know about me, just by way of introduction. And I wrote them down so you wouldn't forget. First, I have number 1 that you may not know about me is that I love nuts. Anything nuts. Cashews, pecans, almonds. Every day I have yogurt and with my collagen powder and as many pecans as I can shove in there. I love pecans. chocolate tastes better with pecan. I'm not a big chocolate person unless it has nuts with it. So, but I love nuts. And my husband doesn't. Opposites attract, right? You know, he does not like anything nut. Which is good for me. We eat pecan pie. I eat the top, and he eats the bottom. We've got a system going on. Second thing you may not know about me is I've been married for 31 years. 31 years, yes. Wonderful man who's provided so much for me and supports me in all of my hobbies and activities, and just is a wonderful man. We have raised 7 children. We have 4 boys and 3 girls. 4 of those are still at home. 2 are married, another one is out of the house, and then we have 4 still at home. 2 boys and 2 girls still at home. A wide range of ages. Our youngest is 16. Another fun fact you may not know is I have homeschooled all of them. We pulled our oldest son out of a Christian school when he was in the 5th grade, and we have continued to homeschool all of them. So I personally have been through high school many, many times myself. You learn so much when you're the teacher, and actually, I think academics I enjoyed school when I was in school and did well in school. It came pretty easy for me. But there are a lot of subjects you just kind of skate through because, you know, you're not interested. History being one of them. I did not enjoy history as a student myself, but as a teacher and a homeschool mom, we love history. And I think we just learned history in the wrong way when I was in school. We do a lot of biographies and that kind of thing. So anyway, I homeschool all my kids. Fifth thing you may not know about me is I love to drink Coca-Cola. And I think this came because I worked at McDonald's when I was a kid, or when I was a teenager. But I love to drink Coca-Cola. Is probably my worst, I hate to say addiction, but it probably is. 6th fun fact about me is my family and I live on 27 acres, and you might have heard me mention that before. We live out in the country, gravel road, the whole deal. We love our home in the country. We lived in a small town for many years when we were first married, and we wanted to come out to the country. And the Lord provided us this wonderful farmhouse on 27 acres. About half of that is in woods. The other half is open, where we actually ran our own pumpkin patch for many, many years, 18 years. We had a small 2-acre you-pick pumpkin patch, and the community would come out every year and pick pumpkins. That was a lot of fun. And we had a cabin that we would use as our like our little shop there for the cabin. That's actually where I started selling my quilts and got into that whole thing. So that it was a blessing, and we really enjoyed that. And we've had all kinds of animals. We're not farmers per se, besides growing the pumpkins, but we currently have goats and we currently have goats and cats. 1 cat and a dog. We're kind of down on our animals. As the kids have grown older, there's not as many people here to take care of animals. So hoping to get chickens again in the springtime. It's been a long time since we've had chickens, just because you live in the country, and the fox have gotten them over the last couple years. So we have had pigs in the past. We've had cows in the past. We have had chickens in the past. So a little bit of everything. But we live on 27 acres in rural Indiana, and love it. And actually, by living in Indiana, obviously we're big basketball fans. Actually, big sports fans of all kinds. Probably baseball, basketball are our 2 favorite. Enjoy college football, not so much pro football. But big IU fans, hoping IU does really well in basketball this year. It looks pretty promising. I'm not a big fan of boxing, wrestling. I don't even know that I'd actually call those sports. But number 8, I love to read. 2021, I actually read over 75 books. Read or listened to, I'd say. This year I'm not doing quite so well, just my plate's been a little more full this year with quilting and business and other things. But I still love to listen to audiobooks. I'm about at 35 books this year. Most of those have been audiobooks. I do a lot of listening to books when I'm sewing, when the Longarm's running, and absolutely love it. So speaking of that, I love libraries. Love, love, love libraries. We actually, as a family, have what's called a public library access card that we pay for every year. So we are able to go to every or any public library in Indiana. And we use that a lot to use the Indianapolis library system because it's so huge that we were able to get a lot of resources there. We've actually maxed out our library card in the past. Had so many books. But love libraries, love to just go and browse. And the number 10 thing that I have written down that you may not know about me is I love old farmhouse things. And maybe you do know that, even from the decorations that I keep around the house. I love old books, I love old scales, I love antique canners and canning jars. I use those a lot in my decorations. Actually, up on that shelf up there in the corner, there's a canning jar that has a bunch of yo-yos in it, is what that is. And I love old game boards, words. I love words. I love words. We have words all over the house as decoration. I love old sewing machines. You can see that as well. Old irons. I actually use vintage irons in my ironing in my sewing room. So that's a little bit about me. You kind of know a little bit more about me. I'd love to hear about you. Tell me what you love. Tell me in the comments maybe something that I don't know about you that I'd love to learn. So now let's share some customer quilts. So I have quilts that have already gone home. The first of all we'll talk about are some sunflower quilts that Pat brought me, and I'll insert some pictures here. So Pat had made these quilts. They are Christmas gifts for granddaughters, I believe, and have their names on them. They're really cute. Sunflower panel, but then she's added a lot of extras around that panel. So they're not just simple quilts. I mean, she put some work into these, and very nice color combinations, and we chose the Dave's Sunflower Pantograph on there. We chose it in a very large size, so to keep the fluffiness of the batting and the softness of that quilt. So that's Dave's Sunflower Pantograph. Pantograph. Really cute. So 2 quilts and for her 2 granddaughters. And Pat, those are really nice, and I know they're going to appreciate that and keep those as keepsakes for many, many years. Another one that's already gone home was by Jessica, and I'll insert a picture here. And Jessica tackled a big project. So what I understand is this is a quilt for a coworker or someone like that. And what it actually is, if you could tell, was hexagons are all cut from Disney fabrics, and those were all pieced together in the shape of Mickey Mouse ears. And then that was appliqued onto a large piece of fabric. And then she asked if I would quilt the entire thing. So she tackled a big project. So to get hexagons to lay flat into that shape, she did an incredible job, and it was very nice. We were able, so once we put it on the long arm, because that large piece was appliqued on the top of another piece of fabric, we actually basted the top down first, just to make sure. I didn't want all of that fullness of the applique to push to one side or to push farther down as I rotated the quilt. So we did some large basting stitches across to hold all of that applique down, and then stitched, actually the pantograph is called mouse ears, and which is really cute one. I've done that on several Disney quilts that I've done in the last couple of years. So it's a cute pattern to add to that type of a theme of quilt. And then once the quilting was done, I pulled out all of those basting stitches, and then Jessica will be binding that. But she seemed really happy with the way that that turned out. She's a new client of mine, and I hope that I get to do many more quilts for her in the future as well. And then I also have one today. This one is actually going home this afternoon. And I'll show you this one. This is by Sarah. Sarah said she got this one from a pattern out of one of the block magazines. It looks like Card Trick, I believe, is the name of the pantograph, or the name of the quilt block that I've seen before. So purples, some bright pinks, and some lime, and some turquoise, really cute. So the block, Card Trick block, and then you have these corners on the edge, and so when you put it with the block next to it, it makes the diamond shape in the middle. It creates that secondary pattern, and the way it looks like those cards are folded in on each other, and you can see that. So this pantograph is called Ginger Snap. A swirl design, again, just to soften up the strong geometric shapes of the squares, the cards themselves. We used a swirl pattern. Ginger Snap has, let's see if I can get that in close so that you can see. There, so Ginger Snap has a couple of swirls to it, and then a couple of almost like bubble type, you know, bobble type designs in with the swirls. Use this on a lot of floral quilts. Use this on feminine quilts, kids quilts. It's a very versatile one. Then Sarah put a gray backing on this. I like that pattern. It goes well with different things. So very nice. Sarah will be excited to get that back this afternoon, and she'll be doing the binding on that one, and I believe she has another one for me to pick up today. So and I think that's all I have to share today. That was a whirlwind, you know, a lot of stuff packed in there. So thank you so much for watching my channel, and I hope you're learning a lot, or at least getting a lot of inspiration of quilts that you might like to try in the future. If you're needing long-arm quilting services, you can visit my website, tammyernestquilting.com, and all the instructions are there on how you can get your quilt to me. And hope you're enjoying your Christmas holiday. And let me know in the comments if there's other things you would like to know or to learn about. Some suggestions you might have for me. I'm still learning at this, and I'd like to get better and to be a help to you to make great quilts for yourself. And you have a great day.